Welcome back to The Influence, everyone. We are here with Kendahl Landreth. Kendahl, a woman of many voices. Thank you so much for coming on The Influence.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited to be here. I'm also a fan of you two. I watch your TikToks, and Abby, I watched yours from the you were like listing things.
Was it the one where girls were like, I get hair extensions and my hair's done?
Yes.
And I was like, I have hemorrhoids and I'm too scared to get Botox.
Yes. And I was like, wait, she's so funny. What the heck? So I'm also a huge fan.
Like half of her audience came from sobriety and half came from like the cabbage for hemorrhoids life hack.
Yeah.
Okay, so an honest and raw group, which I love.
Oh,
exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. People were like, do you use purple cabbage or green cabbage?
How far do you put it in?
How far do you put it in the hole?
I love that. Wow.
So funny. Start kind of wherever you want to start, and let's kind of talk about how we got to, over 1.5 million followers on TikTok, and maybe your first viral video, and where your characters come from, and let's just kind of go on the journey together.
I love that. Sure. So I did comedy in New York, is where I lived at the beginning of the pandemic. So I moved to New York when I was 18 and was like, I'm going to be a comedian. And I worked a lot with the Upright Citizens Brigade. I don't know if you guys know them.
I do.
But so I did a lot of work with them. I went through all their classes and performed with them. And then the pandemic they shut down. So they no longer exist.
Yeah. Gotta go.
Yeah. It was very hard on me because it was like my life, like to the point where I'm a little grateful it shut down, because I was there 7 days a week. I'd get off work. I was there. I was taking so many improv classes that it was just, I would improv class after improv class every day. It was like 8 different improv classes.
Wow.
Which is my whole life. Yeah. And then and I did sketch there as well. So I did acting and sketch, and then I wrote sketch and characters there. And then that had shut down, and I was still living in New York at the time, moved in with my parents for a little bit, who were in Northern California, came back to New York. And then I started talking with my girlfriend at the time, and they were like, I have a viral TikTok video. And I was like, oh my God, that's so awesome. And I went and watched it, and it was very funny. And I was like, I need to make a TikTok video to go viral, so that they'll be like, I have to date her. I don't really know what my thought process was, but I was like, okay, she has a TikTok, so I'll get a TikTok and then post and whatever.
Yeah. Be a TikTok couple.
Yes, exactly. I was
be in love.
Love this. Yes, as if posting content on TikTok has ever been hot to anyone. I don't know.
Right.
Someone starting out on TikTok is not cute. I don't know. I thought that impressed her, but I posted my first my Darla video, and it went viral, which looked very good for me, because I got TikTok probably 1.5 years into quarantine, but I'd posted a couple videos of me trying to do a sound, but I never had posted. I would never used a hashtag or anything like that, or was checking my TikTok. I just did it for fun. But I posted one video with the goal to get a wife, and I did it. And now I'm at our apartment that we live at together.
Nailed it.
I was watching your live the other night. You guys had gotten back from a trip, and were
so
unpacking
chaotic
and arguing, and the dog was there, and it was just real
so
though.
Good.
I mean, that's just what happens at home, right? I love
it. We always, thank you so much. We don't go live often, but I feel like it's because afterwards we both have so much anxiety, because we're we've got to stop fighting on live. We can't stop our, it's just a constant, people in the comments are being are they okay?
Right.
No. Because that's how we show love to one another, is our arguing with one another.
Yeah.
But thank you so much for joining.
Yeah, it was fun. I was enthralled myself.
Loved it.
So where do you draw inspiration from for your characters?
I'm very close with my mom, but my mom is not, she's pretty quiet. She's a Southern accent. My mom is not very similar to what I do on TikTok, although she is very liberal and she loves that I'm gay. But besides that, she's not very
the
similar.
Best part of it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes. I'm not close with any of my grandparents, but my none of them have that accent, but I have like cousins and aunts and uncles from Alabama. And then I have some aunts from North Carolina. And then I just kind of, have pulled from things that they've said over the years. I'm not very close with them, but mostly I think the inspiration for that character is when I was growing up, we had this neighbor. Her name is Rose, and she's incredible. We're still very close with her, and she has a deep German accent. And she has a dog named Snickers, and he is so sick all the time. He's been sick for 10 years. I mean, he's still going. Like he's still going, and it just never ends. And we've pet sit for her a couple times, and it's always just so intense. And it feels like I babysat my infant nephew before, and it's like more than that, and it feels just crazy. And it is so much pressure because I think with the baby, you're like, what if I kill it? But with him, it's like an actual fear where you're like, if I miss like one thing, like, he will die.
Snickers is done.
You can't be that. You can't be that person.
No.
And so, but her life is just dedicated to this dog. And I just think it's so beautiful. So anyway, I pull from a bunch of different people, the accent from this place and the kind of the game of the TikTok, if you will, from this woman that I used to live next to. But yeah.
And it's so good. I personally loved when you and your mom drove across country. That was just so good. But then you went into the Toddlers and Tiaras and the Say Yes to the Dress. And then you were at Kleinfeld. Girl, I was screaming.
I know. That was like my first, and I was terrible because I'm so not the business brain that I need. And so they reached out to me and I was like, how much, like, I didn't obviously email them this, but to my girlfriend, I'm like, I feel like I should pay them. Like I'll pay them to like come and like do it. And she was like, please, no, don't do that.
No.
But because I'm just such a fan of Say Yes to the Dress. And it was very incredible. And they were so nice. I was very nervous. When I got there, I was like, okay, I'm going to walk in and like, they'll be doing business and I'll just be kind of like on the side, like filming a TikTok. And I like walked in and they'd like closed down the store. They're all standing there like in a line and they're like, Kendahl, welcome. And I was like, this is crazy. And they were so sweet. They were very, very sweet. Yeah.
That's so huge.
Thank you so much. Yeah. I mean, I tried it just for a long time. I just did mom videos and I was always like, after I posted my second mom video, I was like, people are done with this. Like, people are tired of this. Like, after day 2, I was like, there's no way people are going to want more of this. Like, I have to think of something new. And I'd try something else and people would be like, please no, like, bring the mom back. And then
bring the mom back.
Yes, but like for a year, I mean, since for a year and a half now, I'm just like, people are about to like, this is the last video before people are like, she sucks.
No,
like,
they're like,
get out.
Put the wig back on, bitch.
Yes. So I'm always trying to think of like some people. It's so hard because I think on TikTok you have to post just so much that I'm like, and I do not post as much as I'm supposed to, but it's still every day I have to post one. And so I think it's hard to come up with new stuff. But so I've tried to just like make content about stuff that I love, which is reality TV. So
right there with you.
Make it about.
You said you don't really have a business brain, but I'm sure that there are opportunities like being presented to you.
Yeah.
Do you have a management team now? How do you field those requests? Like, what does that process look like?
Yes, I've definitely had to get a little bit of a thicker skin, not even thicker skin, because I'm pretty, I did comedy in New York. I did stand up in New York for years. So I'm not like nervous or scared, but I'm very just, it's hard for me to ask for things. It's hard for me to like, and I think it's so hard in this business because like knowing your worth is different from like being like, well, I deserve to get paid $30,000 to hold a water bottle. It's like, no, nobody deserves that. So that's not me like knowing my worth. That's like me having to learn like how people do this thing.
Yeah.
So it's definitely been a learning curve, but I do. I have an agent for acting, and then I'm still meeting with managers and stuff, but it's hard to find the right fit as well because it's also, I was in the acting world, so I know all the red flags for like not a real manager and not a real agent in the acting world, but the influencer world, if that even is what you'd call it, is like so different, and people are like, the rules are different and like the managers are different, and things that would be weird for an acting manager to do or not weird for an influencer manager to do. So it's very hard to field that. And I have definitely struggled. But I try to just like take recommendations. Like if someone I know is like, this person's great, I'm like, cool. That's perfect. Well, I'll use that.
Yeah.
That's great.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have a discount?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Right.
Yes, exactly.
Linked in bio for 15% off.
Yes,
it's true though. We've heard that like several different influencers or content creators that are friends, they all use the same management team because they like, well, they didn't take all our money.
You trust him? Yeah, right.
And at least you know, like if they're like, well, this part sucks about them, at least you like know what the thing is and can decide like if that is something that is like a deal breaker for you. With there's some people, like I'll get sent a contract from a company that's like 45 pages long, and I'm like, I know how to speak like English, but I'm like, I don't know a single word in this contract, like none of the words I know. So it's just, it's definitely hard, but I've definitely gotten more. I feel like, my emails, there's less exclamation points in my emails than there were 6 months ago, which I feel like is good.
Yeah.
I know. I just saw that we're not supposed to do that.
I over punctuate, so I have to be careful and like dial it back for sure.
I would do like hearts at the end of like a business email. It's like, no, like let's cut back.
I love that.
Do hearts, smiley face. Thank you. Can't wait to see you. If it's like 3 where people would just put thank you, I do thank you, happy new year, happy Friday. Thank you.
Same. If it's just like thank you, period, I'm like, oh God, they're mad at me. I'm probably getting fired tomorrow.
I'll quit. You know what? I was bad at it. I'm so sorry. I'll just leave. I'll see my way out.
I'm out. So being in LA, do you have other TikTok friends? Are there TikTok parties that you go to? Tell us about the TikTok scene in LA.
Yes. I mean, there probably are parties. I'm not invited and also not going to go. But it's so weird because everyone, like, I feel like TikTok really got its momentum in quarantine.
Yeah.
So I feel like we've all just like not, like I have lupus, so I have to be like really careful. So I've like been in my house for 2 years and
Same.
So I've definitely met a couple wonderful people. I'm friends with, I don't know if you know Eric, he does like another a mom video where he's like pretending to be a mom on Facebook.
Yes.
Yes. And he's great. I'm getting dinner with him tonight. He's wonderful. And so him and I know each other. And then Ika, who's part of the McLeod family. I don't know if they're big on TikTok. She's 3 kids. Her son, Evan, wears like dresses and he like goes to Disneyland.
Yeah, I love that.
And he's just great. So we're friends. So I definitely have like a couple just like great TikTok friends, but for the most part, I've been in my house. But it is very odd because like the first time I was like, okay, I'm going to go to like I think we went to a trivia night at a bar. And that was like the first time I left my house in like 2 years. And people were like, like coming up to me. And I was like, this is actually crazy.
6 feet, bitch.
Oh my gosh. That's crazy.
I was like, I've never left. Because you have people be like, Kendahl, like friends from my high school, like I'm from a small town, be like, Kendall's doing great. And I'm like, I don't feel any shift in my life, but ever so often I'll leave my quarantine bubble and it is crazy. I don't know. Although I feel like a lot, because I do like characters. So a lot of people do not recognize me in public. And it is so terrible because I'll get like messages. I'll get so many messages on Instagram. They're like, I think I saw you like at a gym or like at a wherever in Ohio. Is this you? And they'll send me a photo and it's like a 50-year-old woman like with a bun on her head. And I'm like, no, like
you just posted that video today. I think it was today about, when people find out that you're not a 50-year-old mom from the Midwest. Yeah.
From the Midwest.
Yes. Like, I thought this is you. I'm like, that woman is like walking with a walker, like in the photo. I'm like, no, that's not me.
Elderly.
She's an elderly woman. She's gorgeous, but she is 80 years older than me. So that's always fun.
I've heard you talk about the lupus before, but what extra precautions have you had to take during the pandemic?
Well, I was very, I just got diagnosed like a month ago. But I was in New York before. So everybody, like, you had to just be like so cautious in New York because it was so intense there. But I'm fully vaccinated and have like the booster and I'm like all ready to go.
Yeah.
So I'm, if I get COVID, I guess we'll deal with it. It's fine. But I definitely can't be going out to like I see so many people in LA that are like going to raves every night. And I'm like, did I just not get a newsletter? Like, I feel like maybe I wasn't updated. I think I I had a mental breakdown a couple months ago because I was like, I feel like I'm still in quarantine, and like maybe I just didn't realize that we like aren't, it's okay to like leave the house. Like nobody told me.
Right.
And so now I've just like been in my house still, but now I think we're coming back and I already missed the boat. But yeah, people are partying every night. So I definitely don't do that. Cause I would love to not get COVID, but
yeah,
I don't take too many extra precautions. It's mostly just like my food I have to eat, and like I can't have a lot of sugar, and I have to stay out of cold temperatures, and I have to wear sunscreen indoors, like things like that. It's all good. I definitely am fine. Like I think lupus is such a scale of like they call it like the snowflake disease because like it doesn't look the same on like everybody. Because yeah, like some people I know had lupus and they like almost die and they're in and out of the hospital every day. And then some people have it and it's like totally manageable, or they like don't know they have it for a really long time. So I'm definitely okay. But when I did get diagnosed, I think people thought I had cancer, which I really like. A lot of people were like, oh, that's a type of cancer. And so people were very like,
concerned.
Because I think people just hear like Selena Gomez had lupus.
Something.
Yeah, like Selena Gomez had lupus and she almost died and like had to get her kidney taken out and removed or whatever, which is not everybody's case. But I think people were like, oh, Kendahl has a couple weeks to live. Like, and I had, you know, brands were sending me care packages being like, we're so sorry for this diagnosis. Gosh. It's like, thank you, Wawa. That is so nice of you.
Wawa, so sweet.
But I'm okay. But yes, I'm totally fine.
Speaking of, I think you had like probably my favorite appropriately paired brand deal ever with KFC.
Grandma really opened up a whole brand deal moment for me with all the Southern brands. I'm doing like Duke's Mayo and KFC. Like, and I was like, well, I didn't even think about that. But yes, and I love KFC. My mom wouldn't let me have KFC as a kid because she just decided that was one. My mom was very specific with things. It was like, we could have other fast food, but then she'd be like, well, this fast food, like McDonald's is really bad for you. And I was like, I think it's equally as bad as like all the fast food places. But so I was really living out my dream because it's so good. And now they have their new vegan chicken nuggets.
Yeah.
Or vegetarian. I don't know if they're vegan or vegetarian, but something that I'm going to eat.
Either
way.
Plant-based.
They're plant-based.
Plant-based.
Yeah.
So cool.
Before you got on, we were saying like TikTok has just
ruined us.
Almost like stupefied us. We're singing these stupid songs. I have the attention span of a 7-second attention span. Can barely watch a movie anymore.
I'm the same way. My girlfriend and I the other day, we all day, we like hardly spoke to each other. We only spoke like every couple minutes, one of us would go, Material Girl.
Yeah.
And that's like all we did all day. All day.
Yep. Totally get it.
It's crazy. Even like a commercial on TV, it's like, we get it, Wendy's, you have a fish sandwich. Next. Like,
yeah, I feel like the 3-minute feature on TikTok was really like we all collectively were like, it's okay. Yeah. We like don't need to use it.
And when there's a 3-minute video, it legit feels like eternity. I'm like, this is
really
50. How did they upload this video?
This is an hour long. How did they get this on here?
It's so long. All my videos, if you really break them down, are like 3 sentences because that's like how long it could be. It's just nice. And I have not moved into the 3-minute. I'm like, I'm just gonna pretend feature wasn't created.
No need. That could be 3 days worth of content.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Do you have like a process? Like, do you write everything down? Are you off the cuff? Like, how do you?
I do write everything down. I've tried. My girlfriend's always like, why don't you just make them up? Like, and I just like can't. For some reason, I guess I like would view my TikTok a little more like stand-up-y than I would like sketchy, because it's not at all, but just in the way I write it, just because I feel like I try to just like have a joke every time I speak because it's such a short amount of time. So I do write it down.
Well, and it's different. Like, you know, I'm sure you've experienced when people are like, it's Kendahl. Come on, Kendahl, be funny. But it's so different between like making jokes in a casual setting with other human beings there, opposed to like being a character and just presenting something funny.
Yes.
So different.
Yes. And like in improv, I'd be doing a 2-minute to, sometimes I do a 30-minute set. So you have a lot of time to kind of like, okay, well, my character is just going to like make pasta for a minute while like we chat, and then like over time it'll be funny. But like, I can't do that on TikTok. So I just have to like, and there's so much of like, you got it like within the first half a second, you have to be like, like so crazy.
Poke them in
to get them.
There can't be like any lead up. It has to be like, okay, I'm here with my dog and I'm like screaming at you in this crazy voice, and there's a joke like right away. I mean, truly, I always say that just like the dumbest humor is what's gonna like do the best. Because like anytime I post a video where I'm like, this is incredible, like this is so well written,
my best work.
People are like, actually, please throw your phone away, like we don't want that. And then I'm like, if I just like put a fart noise in a video, people are like, like
10 million views.
10 million views. And I'm like, great. So I've just tried to lean into that a little more, and it's been good for me, because I think before TikTok I was like, I would do characters, I post on my Instagram, and I would take like a month to write a character. Like I'd write a character and I'd do a second draft, and then I'd do a third draft, and then I'd like come up with a costume, and it was like so intense. And then I'd be so anxious, and I was just too much of a perfectionist. And then with TikTok, I've had to just learn to like throw stuff out there and be like, it's fine, which has been good.
Have any of your videos been taken down, or have you had any like violations?
I have. I've had 3 violations, all for child nudity, which I don't know what that is about, because I've had had 0 nude children in my videos.
No naked children.
And then I had another violation for child endangerment, which was because well, all I can assume, the worst part is they never tell you why. So I've only racked my brain, and this one was my first one. So I was like convinced my TikTok was gonna be taken down. So I was like racking my brain for what it could be. I think it was that I was driving in a car, and you could like see I was in the front seat, but I wasn't driving, I was parked. You could see my wheel in it. And I think there's a rule that it's like, you can't be driving in your TikTok, but I like was not driving. My car's parked fully, but because you could see my steering wheel, that was considered endangerment. And then my video was like POV, you're a kid. So they were like, oh, this child is being abused. I don't know.
Your best guess.
That's wild.
Yes.
Point of view.
But luckily, I mean, that's why I was so anxious for so long about TikTok, because I had so many friends who'd be like, my TikTok just got like taken down one day.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, wow, that would actually ruin my life. So I hope that doesn't happen.
Right.
Which is like crazy, but it's true.
Yeah. It's so scary. Most people can like get it back, but then like some people can. And I'm like, I just feel like I'd be the one that like couldn't get my luck with like emailing people and getting responses. It's not
gone
good
forever.
And then when they start a new account, it's like so incredibly hard to build the following again.
Oh yeah. Have you guys had violations?
I did. Remember that one day I said butthole.
Yeah.
That's what's so crazy.
So
I've had so many videos where I'll be like, you dirty whore. And then like, that's fine. TikTok's like, that's perfect.
Yeah.
And then I'll have a video where I say like crap. And they'll be like, no, it's like 3rd grade rules. They're like, these words are the worst you could say.
But it was like that girl who made the video about the butthole. Like,
Yes.
And I was like, oh, I have such like, check
the best butthole mouth ever.
So I have the best butthole mouth.
Yours is really good.
And I stitched her video. So many people, or I duetted it. Wow. So many people had already done it. And like 30 seconds in, it was like, absolutely not. Do not do this again. That is naughty language. We do not say butthole.
They might have thought it was a real butthole.
Maybe.
They were like, wait, she just
literally, like I went to bed and I was like, I fucking do have the best butthole.
That's so funny. Well, that's what I'm like. I'm trying to like gauge, because they don't, of course, tell you anything. They're like, you have to guess our violations. And I was like, what? Like, that's so weird. Like, and kind of, I try to like follow the trending. Like, WAP was like trending on TikTok for, I don't know, 9 years.
Right.
So I was like, okay, I can assume like wet ass pussy is like fine to say on TikTok.
Yeah.
But then like, so then I'll be like, okay, this is my scale of like curse words. I'm like, wet ass pussy is pretty high, like on that scale. And like the word butthole is like really low on the list.
Right.
So it's hard to gauge. I feel so embarrassed that this is my background. It's literally my trash can. I just need everyone to know.
Don't be.
This is not what I had prepared.
Yeah.
This is
most of the listeners will just listen.
We had some technical difficulties. We forced Kendahl into the dumpster area of her home.
Yeah, this can be in your teaser clip. It's my recycling mood.
Right.
Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh God. What advice would you have for like aspiring comedians, improv people, stand up? Like, how does that transition?
I definitely think you just this is so annoying. I'm so sorry for anyone taking this advice, but I would just, you really have to like love what you do, which actually like kill me. Like it's like disgusting coming out of my mouth, but it really is like so much work and like so much time. And like, I do feel like being successful and like being a good comedian are like two different things. So like, if you just want to be successful, it's like totally different. But I think to like, if you really love comedy, it's a lot of like training, like in my opinion, unless, Eddie Murphy says you don't need training. And so I mean, he's probably right. He clearly is doing great.
Yeah, he did something right.
But he's also like a genius. So I'm like, okay, for some of us who like aren't geniuses, we like need a little bit of training. And I do feel like, I think training in comedy is like the difference between being able to like do something once and then like do it a million times. Like I think before I had training, I would have been able to make a first mom video, but I think what's helped me like be able to make one every day is my ability to what I learned in school helped me be able to like recreate that over and over again.
Yeah.
So that's definitely important. So like love what you do and choose something that you love to do. But I also think more than anything, just like put shit out there and like make stuff all the time and just like throw it out there, and it doesn't have to be perfect. And I just see so many people do so well who are just like really hardworking and just have what we call in our house star behavior, which is what we say you have to have more star behavior, which is just like getting out of bed and like doing the damn thing. And making your own stuff and not making it with like an outcome. I think that is okay. That's my main advice. Sorry, it took me a while to get back to here, but I think I know so many people who like everything they do is with like, I hope this X, Y, and Z happens. Yeah. And I hope like this pushes me to be like super successful.
Yeah.
And it's just like, you'll never, like, I think what will make you successful will be the most random thing and you'll like never see it coming, but you just have to be doing everything because you want to do it. And like, I even in improv class, I'd see people coming to like improv 101 and I could tell they thought they were going to be like discovered in improv class. And I was like, that is not going to happen. Right. Like, that's crazy. But I'm like, then there were people who were there because they just like love to do it. And then some of them like would go on to like do great things. I don't know if any of that made sense.
Totally. Yeah. And it's like, and we get let down then, right? Because we can't control the outcome and we have these expectations. But if you just keep like your nose to the grindstone and like keep hitting it, working on your star behavior, then like that's like with the podcast, Abby Jean is like, we're like a married couple who has been like trying and trying and trying to have a baby. And then like the moment that you just like relax, and, like, that's when you get pregnant.
We're gonna have our baby, but you have to just relax and enjoy the ride.
Exactly. We're gonna have our baby. That's what I'm gonna start saying that whenever I feel down. I'm like, you're gonna have this baby and it's gonna be fine.
And it's gonna be fine.
Yeah.
And I think like I'm gonna butcher this quote, but in Carol, the lesbian movie.
Yeah.
If you heard of it, I don't know. But I can't even remember who says it, I think. But one of them is like, as an artist, your only job is to like, she says it much more beautifully, but your only job is to just like make your art and like put it out there. And then like everyone else judges it, but like, you don't even need to hear it. Just like, you're just throwing it out there. And like, that's your only job as an artist, is to like do that. And so I've really tried to just be like, I can pull from my life and I can pull from what makes me like me and just kind of throw it out there. And then some people will enjoy that.
You can't dictate how someone perceives your art, right?
Perceives your art.
Yes, exactly.
You keep just creating it and enjoying the creation.
Yes. Yes. And just pull from, because my last, God, I'm like teaching classes. I'm really,
I know.
This.
We'll sell this podcast. She's the teacher. We are the students.
I'm also just like, don't take any of my advice. I have no idea what I'm doing, but I am just like, gotta pull from like your truth. You know what I mean? Like that is so lame, but I think that's the main thing I ever learned in like comedy school was like, just be truthful and be honest. And I think any video that I've had success with has just been like actual sentences I've heard in real life and like actual things I've experienced and just been like, okay, what have because none of us have experienced the same thing. And that's what's so hard on TikTok is so many people are making content, so much content where you're like, how am I going to think of something original? Like everybody has made all the content that they can make.
Yeah.
But I think you're like, okay, well, I've lived like a fully different life from everyone else. So like, what can I pull from my life? And I think that just makes it easier for me at least. But yeah.
That's really good.
It. Yeah, that is good.
That is really good. Thank you.
That is really good.
That is really good.
Yeah, write that down.
This bitch is on fire.
And then tomorrow morning, I'm going to wake up with some star behavior.
Yeah, I'll tell you that much.
All my advice that I just gave is like, if you searched advice, like in Google,
it was there.
Like, be yourself, work hard. There you go.
Love what you do.
Love what you do.
It's so true. It's really true. And I think it's so like cliche is because the people who are actually doing it, like they're like, but it's true.
It's working.
Yeah,
yes.
Right.
Yes.
Right. What's your ideal next step? Because we've got.
I was just gonna say that was
I
my
could
question,
see like
Nathan.
a Netflix special. I could see on.
Oh my God.
I could see.
Where are we going, babe?
Is it on stage? Is it on film?
I would love. I mean, a Netflix special will not be the next step. But I would love it if it was. But it will not be. But I would love a Netflix special. I mean, right now I'm working on my YouTube channel is starting this week, which I've kind of been working on.
Amazing.
Because I'm kind of hoping to I guess I would say my end goal I would love to have a show. I'd love to have a Netflix special. Like that is the dream. So I think I've been trying to be like, okay, how can I connect where I am now to like that? And I think it's just like making it longer, which is very intimidating to me, but kind of connecting the characters and making any of them be able to sustain for like 5 minutes and have a little bit more of like a plot line. So I'm really hoping that's like what this YouTube channel will be, where I can kind of make my own little show on YouTube. And then and then of course Netflix will come.
Right. It catches
and
the
beg
attention.
for me.
And they'll bang on your door.
Yes.
And
I would love to go. I would love to go on tour. I think that would be really fun. I mean, that is probably not in the near future, but I would love to do like characters on the road. I've always wanted to do that. And I think that would be really fun. And yeah, I mean, obviously the dream is SNL, but I'm not waiting by the phone. So my dad will call me and be like, you need to get on Kelly Ripa. Have you asked them? And I'm like, do you think there's just like a phone that a phone book of every
Kelly Ripa's office?
Me being like, have you seen me yet, you guys?
Right.
Or he'll be like, I saw this movie the other day, just like a random movie that probably was on Hallmark or something. I saw this movie the other day, and the lead actress, you could have totally done that. And I don't know why.
Much better.
I don't know why you weren't in it. I'm like, yeah, I'm not in every movie that you watch. I'm so sorry.
And he's pissed about it. He's like, she would have been better.
Oh God.
I just love playing big characters, and I don't even want to. I think that's just the one job where I'm like, I wouldn't need anything from it. I would just be having like a blast all the time.
The most fun, right?
The most fun. Yeah. I mean, there was even like a sketch team at UCB that I auditioned for a couple times. I never got on, but I like was always auditioning, and I was like, yeah, I just want to like doing a sketch show is just so fun. I don't know. It just sounds so fun. I'm like in all these costumes. I'm just running around. Like it just seems like a hoot. So that's definitely the dream. But I would have to like move back to New York.
Right.
But no one's offered. So I don't need to start complaining about it already. But because New York is hard. It's a hard city to live in.
Yeah. I can imagine.
Yeah. And I don't think I realized like how hard it was until now I'm in LA and I'm not like crying every single day. Like, I think
less tears.
Yeah. Like New York is very much, I think it is like, I would compare it to like an abusive relationship because it is very much like, it's so hard. It's so terrible. You're so tired. You're so poor. You're like so like dirty. Like there's like rats in your house. But then people will be like, but it's so mad. It's really like, well, the good times are so good, but like the bad times are so bad. And it's like, I know it's beautiful when I like drive, like when I take the L train over Brooklyn, but like I also like am miserable. So I have to like give that up, and I have not missed it. So I'm glad I moved.
Well, before we go, tell us what's going on with Missy.
Should I bring her? Should I bring her on?
Yeah, if it's easy.
Angel, hi.
Yeah, I found out on the live that Missy's name is Angel.
Her name's Angel. Do you want to say hello? Look at the cute.
Oh my!
I love it.
A little twofer.
She's perfect.
I love it.
We adopted her when she was 9, and she is.
I love that.
She grew up in a carnival in Bakersfield, California, and she had multiple sets of puppies, and just like lived on in the abandoned carnival.
Wow.
But she's perfect. She's it's crazy because you think an animal that had like no human interaction would like hate or just be very like skittish or weird.
Yeah.
But she is like wants to be held 24/7. She's like the dream dog. She like is so smart and like sleeps like right here every single night, and she's just like perfect. And she's had so many puppies, so she's very territorial of like she collects socks around the house. That's like her favorite thing to do. And then she like hides them and she like licks them, and it is very sad, but very cute. So she's perfect. And she does, but when I get out that wig, she gets scared. You can tell, like I'll put it on and she'll kind of like look and be like, oh, like, and she'll kind of like walk away. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. I didn't expect this.
Showtime, baby.
It's go time.
We typically end with, if you could leave your community with one thing to take away from hearing you on the podcast today, what would it be? But I feel like you already answered it with
what I'm hearing is you're wanting more advice from the advice master. Yeah. No surprise.
No surprise there.
She's got all the good advice, folks.
Oh God.
But my followers are mostly not comedians, I would say. So that advice probably is, I mean, they should still do what they love.
Yeah, good point.
But my nugget to them is that they're gorgeous and they're perfect. Yes. And they should love themselves. This is yet another piece of incredibly hot take of advice. Such a hot take. No, but my audience is a lot of, I feel like, queer people who maybe don't have as like many supportive people in their lives. And my nugget is that I love them. It's a good advice.
We all love them.
We love you too. The queers love you too.
Wow, that's actually an honor. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
And I prefer just queer people in my life, actually.
So
we're doing good.
I know. No, actually, I've been nailing it for like close to a decade.
Yeah.
No joke.
Wow, that's incredible.
I just find them to be the elite human. So
I mean, it is ultimately. I mean, you're in my apartment. We live 4 people to 2 bedroom which is crazy. But it's two couples, and it's 4 gay people, and then all of our friends. We were talking about it the other day because we're not people who are like queers only, like we're not like that,
but it just like
kind of happens.
But we like looked around and we're like, there's 10. It will only realize it with like if like one of my friends who's like not gay will like come and hang out, and then I can tell they're like there's only gay people. Like, there's 45 gay people here. But this is so fun. I just had such a great time.
Ditto.
So did we.
The best.
Everything I expected and
more. Yeah.
All right, well, thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Kendahl. Have a good night.
And if you guys are in LA, you have to come to LA, and I'll buy you dinner.
Hi there. Thanks so much for listening today and supporting the show. Make sure you hit that subscribe button now so you never miss an upload. We're back every Monday with new episodes available wherever you get your favorite podcasts.
Also, follow us on TikTok and Instagram at Social Influence Pod for the latest updates on the show and to let us know what influencers you'd like to hear from. Head over to iTunes to rate and review The Influence, a social media podcast, and we'll see you next Monday for another peek behind the upload.
Y'all have a blessed day.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye now. This is the motherfucking new podcast.